Showtime. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Off a week break, the kid is back. The GOAT is back. The God is back. Oh, my God. I know y'all miss me. Oh. I am him. He is I. I am who I am. My name is my fucking name. And put some respect on it, like Dame Lillard said. Welcome into episode 53 of Shooting the Shit with Sands. We got a lot of funny shit going on today. A lot of jokes, a lot of shit. We're going to talk about men friendships and how they vary from women's. And women friendships will be the next podcast episode. We will roast the shit out of them, right? Because they're very temperamental. But let's start out how we always do. Man, how y'all doing? Huh? I know. Hey, whoa. She's all over you, bruh. She's all over you. She doesn't get you have your own problems. I don't deal with her. I know she doesn't want you on the game. You gotta watch a movie with her once a week, motherfucker. Take her out to a restaurant, spend time with her, make her laugh, slap her ass, grab her button line. You'll get the sloppy toppy then and there, okay? Then and there, in the car on the way home, in the house, walking up the stairs, just 69 on the way up the stairs, bro. Just give her your time a day, one day a week. One fucking day a week. That's all you gotta do. That pleases your woman. Okay? Jesus. So, I get that's how you're doing, man. But calm the fuck down. Don't put it on me. Today on the pod, we are getting into one of the best stories we have ever seen in NBA history. A real true show of character. It's really admirable. It really brings me back to the 90s where leadership and, just being a stand-up guy was the way of the league, right? This guy just showed how to truly live your life and broadcast it the right way, right? Paul Pierce has become my number one nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize. All right? He's smoking weed. He's got escorts. He's fucking taking shots. They're shaking ass. You know the funniest part? He's known for taking clutch shots and making them. But guess what? His homies were the only ones hitting shots. They were hitting this girl's ass with poker chips. The disrespect to the escort. Didn't you prepay? Didn't you give her the prepaid debit card, bucko? Use a John Doe name, your alias. His alias is what? Puff Puff Pass the Pussy Pierce. Oh, I'm the best Potter out, bro. Oh my God, I'm killing today. This guy is a nutcase. He works for Disney. Mickey Mouse and Goofy would not approve. You need to call Cinderella, call Walt Disney's pedo ass, and tell him you're sorry. Rachel Nichols will never look at you the same, Paul. And if you really look at Paul Pierce's eyes, you can tell he's that type of human. I mean, I've been calling this guy the bold-faced lie for the whole entirety of, since I was 18. My whole adulthood, I've been calling him the bold-faced lie. And he's actually one of the more underrated players of our generation, but who gives a fuck how he plays basketball when he's doing shit like this? When you do this on the weekends, I mean, what is he thinking? What is he thinking? Apparently, the rumor is he made them sign NDAs and put their phone up and then proceeded to record himself. Getting a back rub from an escort. Ain't this man married? I mean, fuck. What is this guy doing? I truly have to figure it out. Just look at his eyes. Those dopey eyes of his. Just the stupid shit he says. I feel like now, when he was talking about D-Wade and said he had a better career than him, he was thinking about escorts and weed and taking shots. That's all he was thinking about. Throwing poker chips at bitches' asses. That's all he was thinking about. That's it. And I respect it. I honestly do. I respect it. Who am I to judge? I think it's weird that a millionaire has to pay for pussy, but Jesus Christ, Paul. Get it how you live it. He's calling game. He's calling fucking game. Bank shot, floor shot, the bitch was twerking on the floor shot, anything. Why is my mic shaking so much? Settle down! We're podding, baby. Now, Paul Pierce is now an inspiration to us all. He has lived his life the way we all wanted to live ours, right? Go to the NBA, make a lot of money, be a fucking top tier player, basically until he was, 35, 34, something like that? Top tier player. Top tier clutch scorer. Actually, an underrated defender as well because he was strong as an ox. Always burping, baby. And then you retire, you get an analyst job, you get millions in the bank, you have weed, you have escorts. This is the most banana story I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, this is mind-boggling. Fucking mind-boggling. So, shout out Paul Pierce, man. We got your new nickname, bro. Puff, pass that pussy. Puss. Oh my God. That dude is a crackhead. What is he thinking, honestly? Like, really think about that. That is crazy. The images that were shared are bananas. Okay, so to the second subject, I just had these random discussions with Nia, right? And we're talking about how, I think I discussed this on the podcast, and then it made me start jotting ideas down, right? And we were talking about friendships with men and women. And I was telling her, she was asking me how I could be friends with people that have different political views than me. And I'm going to get kind of deep here, but it's only going to be for 30 seconds. How can you see somebody's moral compass in politics, right? How can you see that? Because of who they voted for. When politics has nothing to do with morals, which is actually so separated from morals. How can I judge somebody based on their moral compass based on politics? That's just stupid, right? So that really made me go deep dive and think about men's friendships and how girls can become best friends in 2 weeks. But with guys, our closest friends, we've known forever. Like, you can get a friend at work and he's going to show up to some party, or like you'll invite him out with your closest homies like one time because he's in town or we're close to his apartment or something. But usually guys have circles and they've been friends with him for decades. I have two really close friend groups, right? They just don't intermingle because they just never did, you know? One group I've been friends with since I was in 7th fucking grade. 12 years old, I am 26. Just turned 26. Happy birthday to me. Right? 12 years old, I am 26. We have been in touch, talked almost every single day for the last 14 years. My other friend group, I've been close with since I was 18, 19 years old. Once again, almost a decade of being friends. And women hold grudges so long. So this was my thought process, right? Okay, so what breaks up men's friendships? If we're being honest, mostly it's women. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is mostly women. There is nothing that can really break up your friendship other than theft, like really bad shit that would break up anything, right? But the basis mostly of men's friendships ending are women. And I don't know why that is. It's ridiculous that it happens that way. But we can do the worst shit to each other, and then all it takes is like a 2-month break from each other, have a conversation, dap it up, give them a hug, and we're all cool. And literally everything is back to literally normal. Literally back to normal. You get a woman in a room with a girl that she was best friends with and they had a grudge over each other because she didn't clean the fucking dishes, and she won't talk to that bitch for another 10 years. Nia's going to be at our wedding, right? And someone's going to mention somebody from high school that she hates. And she's going to be like, that dirty bitch. I fucking hate that cunt. One day she told me she was going to bring my track shoes to practice. Never did it. I was running in fucking socks. I don't even know if that happened. I'm just trying to give you an example, right? And I was thinking, like, men are so mean to each other and it doesn't break up the friendship. You can get in a heated discussion with your best friend and they will bring up some personal ass shit, right? Some personal ass shit, and it'll never faze you. And women can't, it'll faze you. You get a little heated, take it personally, be like, oh, you want to go there, motherfucker? Let's go there then. And then you start taking shots. But at the end of the day, you get a text 2 days later, hey man, my bad. Hey man, my bad too. You get these motherfuckers. You say the wrong thing. You see how I turn my thumb? Like this way to the door? You get them, And then she calls her a bitch while they're drunk. And it's a rivalry for 3 months. And they live together, right? This didn't happen with them. I'm just giving you an example. They just stare at each other in the living room, giving each other the fucking death stare. Bro, I have friends. I'm about to name my friends. I love y'all to death. If you can't handle Jacob Taji making 15 comments while you tell a 3-minute story, you cannot be friends with him. It's going to arc you. I have a friend, Zach, right? Zach Bates, shout out, love you too. Love all these guys I'm going to talk about. Zach has a short fuse. He has a short fuse, but you're like a caveman trying to start a fire. Because you can't light the fuse. It takes you a long time. You're just sitting there, come on, motherfucker. Come on, light it. And then when you light it, he explodes. He will explode for 10 minutes on your ass, talking about the most personal shit. And then the next day, he'll join the Xbox Live party. What's up, bro? How you doing today? Now, maybe I am friends with some psychopaths, okay? Another example, Michael. Love him too. Love you, Mike. If he does not get competitive and yell at you, he does not really fuck with you like that. We are playing fucking Rocket League. If you don't know what Rocket League is, it is a game where you play soccer with fucking Hot Wheels. And you have turbo and shit. And we get in these, we do private matches, have a competitive 3v3. We start winning. You know, everybody's like, oh, it's not that serious. You know, they're trying to act like they're not going to try. Then it gets to game 4. It's 2-1. Trash talk starts. That's why you fucking suck, bitch. You'll never be on my level, motherfucker. Yeah, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Over a video game. Could you imagine if women had to deal with that? And women swear have you ever talked to your woman about having Xbox? They swear they want a Xbox Live type of thing where you can live chat with their friends. No, because you have to play the game too. And when women get competitive, it gets dicey. They're just two different foundations, I should say, of how they build friendships. One is common interest, right? That's the foundation for most friendships. Common interest. I'm so backwards. Common interest, right? But with guys, common interest. When it's sports, debate. Common interest for women. Talk about the common interest more. You debate, it becomes a competition of who's right more with guys. Then on the woman's side, you've got the common things, you talk about them more, then you do them together, right? And it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Well, what is this friendship here? What is this? What is this? What is this? You just like all happy glory. What is it called? Happy giddy, happy. Don't know the phrase. Not gonna force it. But you get what I'm saying? It just made me think about how men's really their friendships are rooted off competition and challenging each other. And if you can't take it, get the fuck over it. You can't hang out with us because you're sensitive. And I'm sensitive. That's why, I've been getting invited. You know, I get invited to everything. I just live far away. But I was emotionally unstable when I was 19. I was fucking depressed. It's like, he said I'm chubby. And I would go in a corner and want to cry, right? They would tell me I suck at sports. I'm like, no, I don't. And I suck at sports, right? I can shoot that ball, though. Ain't that what the kids doing? Like that? Disgusting. I don't know why I just did that. But that's all I was saying. I think it's funny how they're rooted different. Like, guys are nuts. Guys are insane. And women are not insane, but they hold grudges. And their friendships are so temperamental that I don't get how they hold a grudge, right? So I don't know. It was just random thoughts, guys. I'm just spitting here. I'm a little rusty once again, a week off. But coming up on the podcast, we're going to talk about where I was right and wrong and all that shit about people. Basically, a lot of right, okay? Victor Oladipo hasn't been what I thought he'd be scoring the basketball, but that's going to come with time, obviously. So, next on the podcast, we got the Andre Drummond move. I have not covered it yet. Crazy. I got the Andre Drummond move. I'm not going to talk about the Nets. I'm sorry. I can't talk about them. It fucking sickens me to talk about them. Joel Embiid is back. Joel MVP. As I said, I don't know. That's horrible. But after a commercial break, we're going to get into some sports shit, man. Thank you guys for listening. Attention, viewers and listeners. What you are about to hear for the second part of this pod is a podcaster fucking up drastically and not changing his mic on his laptop, so it will be on the standard mic of a goddamn Mac. Now, this sounds clear. I came back and edited, didn't I? Put in a little snippet video. I am so sorry. I have some very good information, guys. Please stick through it. I'm very sorry about the quality. Honestly, y'all know it never happens. Hadn't happened 40 episodes now. I'm sorry. Stick with it. It's awesome information about the Heat, all NBA teams, Drummond deal, or the Drummond deal to the Lakers, all that, man. So stick with it. Thank you. Goodbye. Alrighty. Second half of the pod. Yes, it's recorded on a different day. Second half wasn't too good. I was too in my funny mood. Kind of, once again, a little rusty potting, so I had to do some research, and I forgot it is the beginning of the month. So it's time for a new All-NBA team, right? And we got a lot of changes because of injuries and all that shit. So we're going to get into it, but first I want to talk about the Heat, right? I got some stats for you, okay? Just to make it simple. And I'm going to go over the Drummond move as well. So Heat look damn good right now since the trade deadline. Oh, I thought I broke my goddamn blinds. Holy shit. All right, I'm cool. Okay. Jeez, here we go. We look fantastic since the trade deadline. We're streaking. Duncan Robinson has now made 50% of his threes, and he's made 30 of them. So I think he's made 5 threes a game over the last 6 games, which is bananas, and he shot 60 of them. So it's I think the actual stat is 55%. And obviously with the addition of Oladipo, that's going to help with our penetration without Jimmy having to be the main guy with the ball. And like I said, he's coming to his point guard role already, averaging 5 assists a game in 2 games. He's just not comfortable with his shot right now. Shooting under 25% from the field, horrible. And he's shooting 10% from 3. But this is a guy, right? This is a guy who has missed already 18 games this season. He's moving to Miami. Need to do protocol, trying to get his legs underneath him. And we're running him 40 minutes a night right now, which I thought he was going to be on a minutes restriction, but apparently his BMI and all that conditioning test stuff went through, so you know how it goes. Another addition to the team who I think is the most crucial piece that we have added, right? Sorry about that. The most crucial piece we have added is Trevor Ariza. Once again, I ask myself, why, Hunter? Why do you say that? His stats versus the Warriors, right? Everybody Trevor Ariza guarded in totality shot 3 for 15. When he guarded Dame Lillard, he shot 25%. Devontae Graham, 33%. Terry Rozier, 25%. So we're talking about still an elite defender who just is coming off games with 3+ threes back-to-back games after not playing for over a whole year. You know, he's a rusty older guy. I told y'all it was a Iggy and Memphis situation. You got to get him in a situation where he can win and make an impact, and he's already made an impact. All right, more consistent shooter than Kelly Olynyk, much more versatile defender. Dude, he's guarding big guys, small guys. Jimmy Butler can now be that elite scorer that he can be because Jimmy doesn't have to guard the best player every night because Trevor Ariza still can at this age. I don't even think he's that old. I could be wrong. I bet he's not but 34. I hadn't looked, but I bet he's not. Right? And with these additions, it has turned into Bam becoming he's going to be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, and it should be taken seriously. I know you're like, well, you're just a Heat fan. Well, the stats prove it. Our defensive efficiency without him on the floor is 128. With him on the floor, 87. That is the highest by a single player. I think it's even higher than Rudy Gobert's. It's obviously it's the biggest difference in the league. And the impact he can have now. You know, we know Bam's an elite versatile defender. But the things he gets to do now are jump passing lanes. That's why Jimmy Butler now leads the league in steals. Because he gets to jump passing lanes when he has Victor Oladipo, and Trevor Ariza beside him. He can say, okay, let me play some safety. He can have some fun on defense, and so can Bam. He's not so worried about having two defensive liabilities on the floor, you know. It's a much bigger deal when you have two defensive liabilities, right? You got Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson out there. And sometimes we would have a lineup with Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Kelly Olynyk. Bro. Imagine that shit, right? So when your worst player on the court is Duncan Robinson, which this is a real stat, go look it up on EBA.com if you don't believe me. He is top 15 in the league in individual defensive efficiency. He is top 15 in the league. I promise that's a real stat. That is a real stat. And I told y'all, I think Duncan plays great defense. I don't think Duncan gets cooked. He doesn't. Duncan Robinson puts a hand up. He moves his feet well. He doesn't ever just get toasted most of the time, right? But what happens is I have this philosophy that players see him in front of him and go, I'm Michael Jordan now. I truly believe that. I think they go, okay, I can score on this guy whenever I want. And then they take advantage of the situation in that way. And I think it does make a difference. It's like when you see Trae Young in front of you. Like, what the fuck is this guy going to do to me? He's a tiny baby. A balding baby. He needs to cut his fucking hair off. But yeah, I just see a lot of trends that are turning into Miami Heat basketball. Am I going to get overexcited about it? No, because we were the definition of 500. Y'all saw it. We were 22-22, I believe. 6-6 on the road or some shit. Like 13-13 at home, wherever it was. We were 500 in every single category you could have. It was fucking insane. So we'll see what happens with that. But I am excited to see how this team develops. Victor Oladipo is a 20-point per game guy. All right, is he going to put that up on this team? I don't know. But I tell you, he'll be a much more effective defender on this team than he has been in the past. And, well, this year, I should say, because he was always a very good defender. But yeah, I'm pretty damn excited to see what this team turns into, and I think it is. And I think everybody in the league is actually, if you watch like basketball and you really know who can contend, I think everybody knows they don't want to see the Heat when we have this level of roster. You know, it's just we have Eric Spoelstra, we got some talent out there. We are not playing zone, woohoo! And you have to think, man. I mean, it's turned into a whole different situation. Like, we can have a lineup out there that has no defensive flaws. Jimmy, Bam, Iggy, Ariza, and whatever. Whoever you want to put out there. There's a lot of lineups where we don't have any defensive deficiency. So it's going to be fun to watch. I cannot wait to watch this Heat team continue on through the season. And you know what it is. It's just, it's the fucking Heat, man. We're winners, all right? Winning culture. So, talking about winning culture, the Lakers not looking good right now. They may be in the play-in. Like I said, I've said that too. Once again, I'm lucky to have a show, drop my show on Fridays because nobody has shows on Fridays. So my opinions get out. I'm not ESPN but I get my opinion out before the national media can get theirs out. So I look like I'm ahead of the curve to me and to other people, right? So I thought I let that out on Friday that I thought that AD was going to wait for Braun, and it's looking like he might. They're saying he wanted to return, but there's rumors that he might stay in the locker room so LeBron comes back as well. They acquire Andre Drummond. Well, I said they're going to be in the playing game. That's the end of my thought right there. They acquire Andre Drummond. Amazing fit to me. I think me more than other people, because I didn't get to cover this because my podcast was glitchy as fuck last week, so it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Love how my tone changes when I talk sports. And I'm over here talking like, he's smoking weed, motherfucker. And then I'm over here just all calm and shit. I love it. But yeah, I think it puts them right into the favorite category again if they're fully healthy, man. And that's a big, huge if. Humongous if. I'm not even going to act like it. Oh, and I'm going to give y'all my top 5 teams as well in the NBA. Not anything crazy. I'm just going to give you a list and see what you think about it, right? But yeah, so with them two missing games, it's going to turn into a shitstorm, and it's going to be bad. They're going to sink in the rankings. But with Andre Drummond being added, you're right there where you were last year. You got a lot of bigs. That people forget this is a run and gun league, and the Lakers may just slow it down and beat them defensively because they got so many points in the paint. So they get a possession and get back and uh, stop you. They get their defense set and get ready to stop you. And the Lakers have been fuck. I mean, they're the top. They're top five in. I think they're top three the last 2 years in defensive. I can't get those two fucking words out, can I? Defensive efficiency. Jesus, they're top 3 or 5 at least the last 2 years. And now LeBron has become one of the best defenders in the league. He's always been that, but he's been turning it up lately this year. It's crazy what he's been doing. But we all know what he's capable of. Duh, right? And I think this brings another element of you are going to have a hard time scoring in the paint, right? And we all know my philosophy about having great backup bigs. All right. People are talking about a Marc Gasol buyout or something, and he may be option D. And I think that's okay. So if Drummond gets in foul trouble, you're playing C, right? You're playing C if he's in foul trouble. Is Marc Gasol? I mean, he hasn't been playing well, but he's not a fucking trash can. You know what I mean? He has a pulse in him. He can still play a little bit. And I just think it makes them where they're not going to give up any offensive rebounds. Andre Drummond, his whole career, other than his rookie year, has never averaged below 13 rebounds and 2 blocks. And he had 6 straight seasons of 78 games played. And now this motherfucker gets hurt. He had hurt his toe. He couldn't put his shoe on in the morning. It's horrible. And it could be one of those years for the Lakers where you're just unfortunate. Don't get to the finals because you're unhealthy, man. That sometimes happens to the best teams in the league. But you gotta get the fuck over it. I mean, it happens. So I think it puts them right there in the driver's seat to be a favorite again. And I think it's huge for them because y'all know my philosophy once again on backup bigs. You're not scared to get in foul trouble. You're aggressive on offense. You're more aggressive on defense. It helps the whole team out, as we saw last year. And they have a lot of scoring in their fucking backcourt. It's ridiculous. Okay, so on to the All-NBA teams. Dear Lord, if I leave I actually did my heavy research on this. If I leave somebody out, which I don't think I did, I have all the top names here. May have a couple surprises for you guys, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so. Oh, I'm getting a phone call real quick. Let me take a break. Hold up. All right, sorry about that, guys. So the All-NBA teams, okay? First team. No, we'll go third team first, right? Let's go third team first, okay? I got Chris Paul, who's averaging 16, 5, and 9 on 49% shooting. He's only playing 31 minutes a game. He's been absolutely incredible, okay? Absolutely incredible. The Suns are in my top 5 teams. They are spectacular, okay? At the 2 guard, I have Bradley Beal. Now, who was the guy I was missing? Who was the guy? Come on, Hunter. Devin Booker, his teammate, right? So if it was my pick and how I look at winning affecting this, he just won't stop texting me. I'm starving. I was going to say we can go grocery shopping. I mean, they go to work. You got all day to tell me you want to go grocery shopping. And then I'm looking forward to the national championship game. And then you don't tell me you want to go grocery shopping. And then when you're at work, after I take you to work, you don't tell me when you're on the way to work that you want to go after. So I can plan ahead. Anyways, if it was up to me, Devin Booker would be in there. Oh, I would say the media will probably give it to Devin Booker because they gave Bradley Beal his all-star bid, right? And now Bradley Beal's having some injury problems. See when he comes back. But he's averaging 31, 5, and 4. I don't think, and he's shooting like 46%, 47%. You cannot hold that guy out of the all-pro team to me, even though they may end the season as a 12 seed. They're so bad. The Wizards are fucking horrible. I don't know how that works. Scott Brooks needs to stop. He's getting these favors from players like Westbrook and shit like that. Like, dog, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, bro. He does not deserve that. Scott Brooks is not a good coach. I'm sorry, he is. He's not. He's as big of a part of that 3-1 loss to the Warriors as KD and Russ and all of them are. I'm sorry, he is. No adjustments made. So this is a surprise one, but it shouldn't be, right? LeBron James at the 3. So the media they're not going to let LeBron not make an All-Pro team. He can miss 20 games and play 40. Didn't he make an All-Pro team when he missed 25 games? Didn't he? I think he did, because he's on this whole streak of like years with All-Pro whatever. I think he made an All-Pro team that year. So if they're giving it to him that year, they're going to give it to him this year, at least a third-team bid. He's averaging 25, 8, and 8. He's doing LeBron shit, typical LeBron shit, without AD, which I think his points and assists go up with AD. I don't want to get into how that works. When you have a great player on the floor, more attention to him. They're not worried about Trez at the free throw line. They can help a lot better on LeBron when Trez is out there. At the 4 spot, I have Bam Adebayo. Really wanted to put him in the 2 spot, right, the second team. There's just too much talent up there. You can't do it. You can't put him up there, okay? It's just not going to happen. He's averaging 19, 10, and 5, basically 6, honestly. Shooting 56% this year. Shooting 83% from the free throw line. If you've watched him play, which I don't know if a lot of you've had. I know Chris kind of watches the Heat now since he wants to know our teams. And we're pretty cool with each other, letting each other know how we thought of our teams and stuff like that. So we're pretty brutally honest with each other about our teams. And, he's just balling his ass off, becoming a really pure scorer alongside Jimmy Butler and now Victor Oladipo. Hopefully that turns out well for us. And then we have this shitbag Rudy Gobert. Yeah, he made it. Cool. Have fun. I don't even want to talk about him. Number 1 seed, cool. Donovan Mitchell didn't make a team. Sorry, not going to happen. Did not make a team. So, second team. Stephen Curry. So y'all know who the first team is, I hope. Stephen Curry, man. 29 points a game. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He's trying to lead this Warriors team to a play-in game, and I think he will, but they're going down very quickly. They have no shooting other than him. None whatsoever. And Draymond has helped a lot with him, but it hasn't been enough. James Wiseman is a talented player, but he's not reliable. Kelly Oubre refuses to take a bench role next season, so that's going to cause a stir. That's why they wanted to trade him. Came out today on Andrew Bogut's podcast that they had a deal made for Lonzo Ball, and I would have loved to see how that worked out. I think that helps Steph defensively. I think that helps Steph off the ball, even though he's already amazing off the ball. You have Lonzo Ball who can shoot now, who's an elite passer in the league. Would have been fun to watch, right? So Steph's up there, man. It's just I don't think you can put him in the 1 seed or the first team when you have a guy like Dame Lillard balling out, right? So at the 2 guard, I have Paul George once again, career high in 3-point percentage. He's doing his thing, 22, 6, and 5 as the second banana. And I think it's funny that, he's been getting shit on and he's on his little revenge tour and he's balling, bro. I can't hate on it. He's fucking hooping. But what I think is funny is he's not going to be judged by this fucking regular season, man. He's just not. He could have averaged 30 points a game this year and he's going to be judged on the playoffs. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. So it is what it is. Paul George hooping this year, balling out, and I hope he keeps it up. He is, dude, I'm not some dude that shits on Paul George. I was just telling y'all, I told y'all so. I told y'all so. The only reason I didn't believe in the Clippers to beat the Lakers was Paul George. I said that like the 3rd day of the season. I was like, bro, they are not beating them. Oh, I was wondering when I started my podcast. Sorry, I did my little thinking face. I started it in the bubble, I think. But I was saying early to my friends, like, dude, they're not winning. They have Paul George. He's a playoff choke job. And you don't change. You're not going to get better. I'm telling you, sports trends last. Most of the players and how they play in the playoffs. Peyton Manning, always mediocre in the playoffs. Poop, ass. Drew Brees, ass in the playoffs. James Harden has been ass in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook, ass in the playoffs. Paul George, ass in the playoffs. Their play style does not work in the playoffs. And he was mentally checked out. He was fucked up in the head. But his teammate, Kawhi Leonard, is at the 3 spot, averaging 26, 7, and 4. Once again, Unfortunately for him, he choked in Game 7 too. So let's put some shit on him too. I think he only had 15 points that game. He didn't score 20. Shot, I think 6 for 20 or something like that. He's played horrible. And then he comes out this year and is being Kawhi. Kawhi's been balling all season and he's not getting talked about because respectively he shouldn't be talked about. No offense to him. When you lose like that, you're going to get a drift. You're going to catch a fan drift where everybody's on top of Max Kellerman's calling him the best player in the world. All of my friends are telling me Kawhi is the best player in the world. He's the ultimate winner. He's more Kobe and Jordan. LeBron can never be a killer like Kawhi. I'm telling you, these are things I heard in my Xbox party. What do you mean? LeBron would never. This wave, this drift, and then it all goes away. It all goes away when you lose like that and you don't get it done and you're not the man that we thought you were, as in a basketball sense. I'm not calling him a fucking pussy or anything. It just is what it is, doesn't deserve the narrative, isn't going to get the narrative unless he comes and wins a ring this year. So that is what it is. At the 4 spot, it's 2 forwards. I looked it up. This guy is a forward. My man, Jimmy Buckets. Now, how is he over LeBron? I'm assuming they're going to miss the same amount of games, and we're going off of the end of the month where I'm not doing it month by month, but I am. I don't know how to explain it. It's the whole year up to this point, not month by month. But the whole year up to this point, Jimmy Butler, the last month, obviously has played more games than LeBron, and he's honestly going to, at the end of the season, he's going to have probably more games played than LeBron. LeBron's got to miss 4 more weeks. Jimmy, if he plays the rest of the season, I think will end up, he missed 14, probably playing 58 to 60 games, right? And LeBron may end up with 40-something. Like, people forget, he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Do you know how many weeks are left in the season? It's fucking April, bro. It's almost playoff time. So, we're talking about LeBron may come back for the last 7 games. That's what they're talking about. People forget, we are in April. If he misses another 4 weeks, we're in May. What we talking about? You get what I'm saying? The season goes by fast, man. People forget that shit. So I got Jimmy Buckets up there. And once again, he's a top 10 MVP candidate right now, according to Basketball Reference. Love it. We have started pushing the narrative on Heat Twitter that he is an MVP candidate, which I believe he is. I don't think he's a top 5, 3 guy. No, but he should be up there talking about the definition of most valuable player. When he's on the court, we win 67 to 70% of our games. I've said this 100 times on this podcast. We are probably the fucking 3 seed. No, we wouldn't be. We're probably the 4 seed the whole year. Like I've said, I thought we were going to be the 4 seed. And thing is, we're having a bad season. Jimmy's going to lead us to the 4 seed in the East, where he missed 15 games, 16 games. So it's been fun to watch him play this year. He's really, really hooping, man. He's really hooping. I love to see it. Last week he was balling, shot 54% from the field, 86% from the free throw line. He was really killing. And at the 5 spot, my MVP, unfortunately he won't be able to take that award, but Joel Embiid, right? 30-11. Simply put, 30-11. If the season ended today, he'd have the highest PER ever. His PER is a fucking 35.66. Y'all know what the highest ever is? 31. Huh. By Giannis. That is filthy. Filthy. So we're talking about a dude that would go down as the most efficient player, having the most efficient season of all time. And Jokic is right behind him, right? So he's a couple decimal points off. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's shitty because I really got into him this year. Pause. Yuck. I really got into watching Joel this year because he hasn't been healthy the last couple years, and I know what he can do. And he's been an inconsistent. Like, let's be real. Like, look at Ben Simmons. Once again, inconsistent. Saw it today. Since All-Star break, he's averaging 12.9 points, man. He's shooting like 40% at the rim, when before All-Star break, he was shooting 68% at the rim. It's that shit where people get pissed at Ben, you know? They've been winning games, though. But still, you got to keep up your performance. Can't depend on Shake Milton and Tobias Harris, bro. You're the second most talented guy on that team. It's just a fact. Most pure talented guy, I think if we had a list of player rankings, most people would put Tobias Harris over him, not me. Most people would. considering their offensive skills. Not getting that Ben Simmons don't average much less points than fucking Tobias and won't shoot outside 3 feet. So it is what it is. But Joel Embiid, man. And it's funny because people are gonna act like they forgot about him when he goes for 40 tomorrow night. You know he's averaging 40 points a game this year on the Celtics. He fucking hates ball. He is fed into the Philly shit. He's averaging 40 points on the Celtics this year. So see what happens on them, right? Probably gonna detonate again. Who's gonna guard him? Mo Wagner, motherfucker. Robert Williams. I dare you. I fucking dare you. Honestly, I dare you. But yeah, Joel, second team center, and we're gonna go to the first team center, Nikola Jokic, man, MVP right now. And the next dude I'm gonna say is creeping up on him, but I think this guy has it in the bag because without him, they don't win games to me. They don't. Michael Porter stepping up last 6 games, shooting 60+% from the field. He's really balling. They've given him a better role now, which is what they need on that team. They need him to have a bigger role. I've been saying it forever. Give him a bigger role or trade him. And they, after All-Star break and after the trade deadline, they have given him a huge role, humongous role. He's starting to shoot a lot, starting to get plays drawn up for him. So that's what I was telling y'all. The only reason I thought he was going to get traded was because I thought they weren't going to expand his role, and he would not take that. You know what I mean? So they changed it up. But Jokic, 26, 11, and 8. Dear God, like I said, he's probably a 1 point behind Joel in player efficiency rate and PER. So when you watch him play, I don't understand. I've watched both his 50-point games this year. Both of them. BOF if you win both of them. BOF if you win both. And I don't understand how he drops 50. Like, you can talk about Dirk and shit. Dirk was more athletic than him at like 35. He was. Dirk was more athletic than him. Like, people forget how good Dirk was at the beginning of his career and how he was taking it full court fast breaks around the back, doing jelly layups and shit. People forget how amazing Dirk was. People remember the 2010 season where he still had some athleticism, not a lot. But he could still get past you off the dribble, off the bounce, you know what I mean? This guy, Jokic, is all footwork. All footwork, all pudge, all Fruit Loops and Honey Buns, just packing it in the paint. Shooting it over your head like an old man at the rec. It's insane. But he is fun to watch. I will say he's one of the most skilled players in the league, and he's a top 5 offensive basketball player in the world right now. He is absolutely so fun to watch. But the guy that's creeping up on him, Giannis Antetokounmpo, man, 29, 11, and 6. Jesus Christ. This man is about to fucking drop a 30, 11, and 6 season, and he put himself, with the injuries to Joel Embiid and LeBron James, Giannis put himself right at number 2, in my opinion, for the MVP. Right at it. And the thing is, the Bucks are going to have a fantastic record, probably better than the Nuggets. We'll see, though. The Nuggets are starting to click and get going. They're about to start winning games at a rapid rate. But Giannis is absolutely scorching right now. He is balling. They've been fun to watch. They just got straight up old Western robbery by Drew Holiday. 4 years, 160, motherfucker. He makes more than LeBron James. I can't say it. He makes more money than LeBron James. He makes more money than LeBron James. Oh. Holy shit. Oh. Drew Holiday makes more money than LeBron James. My mouth can't say it. Yuck. He makes more money than LeBron, though. Shit, robbery. That's why the Bucks won't win. They already overtraded. They aren't that much better. And when I see him in the playoffs, I'm going to go, yeah, Giannis, you rolled your ankle. People forget that, and I don't ever bring it up. Yeah, you missed the game, but they won that game. They won that game in OT. They won that game without Giannis. And people forget, Giannis averaged, I think, 22 points a game in that series. Poop. Now, onto the 3 spot. Landon, shut your ass up. Listen here. Shut your ass up. Luka Doncic. You know, it was my fault. I totally deserved it. I admitted it right when I posted it. I didn't fucking mention Luka on my list. And you're gonna ask why Kyrie Irving isn't on this list. Let me tell you, he's starting to miss games. His games, he's below 30 games played. Just took 3 games off. I think that's not gonna help him when it comes down to the all NBA teams. And I don't see him taking Steph Curry PG spot. He would take Bradley Beal or Chris Paul spot, which I'd be totally cool with. But I'm going with those guys because they've been more active in my opinion. So now Luka Doncic is averaging 29, 8, and 8. Just casual. But what I've been preaching Luka this whole fucking podcast, all right? I've been preaching the why am I doing Boy Scouts honor Eagle Scout? Go. I got a wood chopping badge today. Why am I doing this with my fingers? Wood chopping badge. Yeah. Fucking idiot. Anyway, what is wrong with me? Luka Doncic, I just sat here and told y'all. I went on like a fit. I had a whole segment on Luka about why you don't count them out. Players of his ilk do not get counted out. Don't ever pick against them to make the playoffs. Don't ever talk bad about him. Because you know what? He was fucking averaging the same numbers and was shooting 12% from 3, it seemed like. Couldn't get one to go. And what I say? Game of percentages, game of percentages, I was just saying it, game of percentages. What about Gary Trent? How about that? Go off topic. How about Gary Trent? Who called that shit? Who called that shit, huh? It's one game, Hunter. Yeah, it's one fucking game. Just wait. Just wait till NBA Central is posting, ooh, last 5 games, Gary Trent's been balling. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. Yeah, you'll fucking see. Fire emoji, fire emoji. But Luka just came out hooping, leading these guys basically by himself. Porzingis has also stepped up. Porzingis was playing well before he's been sitting out. I don't know if he's hurt, but he's been sitting out a little bit. So, and the only thing I dislike about watching the Mavericks, dude, Rick Carlisle really does not give a fuck about giving up a game. I'm like, dude, you're in the Western Conference. You cannot risk giving up a free loss like when they're playing OKC on a back-to-back. That's not even a long drive. I lived in Dallas. It is a 40-minute, 45, hour and a half. It's not 45 on mine. It's an hour and a half drive. Well, actually, from Dallas, it may be. From Denton, it was like an hour and a half drive to get to Oklahoma City. Like, what are they doing? 2-hour drive? Why the fuck is he sitting against OKC? That may come back to bite you when you could have had the 6th seed, but you're down by half a game, and he did it again the other night. I forgot who it was against. It was the game before the Knicks game, I believe. He did it again the other night, and dude, those games can fuck you at the end of the season. They gotta stop doing that shit. I'm telling you they have to. At the 2 spot, we have, he could be considered number 2 on the MVP list as well. We have James Harden. Kyrie, KD, no Kyrie, no KD. We said they had no depth. They don't have Spencer Dinwiddie. They got to wash Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. This dude continues to fucking win, and I don't know how. And James Harden has shown what he truly is as an NBA player. You can tell in Houston, he was kind of forced to do that shit. I know that sounds nuts. Like, who would be forced to shoot 30 times? Go listen to Daryl Morey talk about these analytics. Insane. And now he's showing he's playing different. That's all I'm trying to say. He's not playing the same as he did in the shot selection and shit like that, you know, and he's showing what he showed in OKC. He is a point guard. Through and through, a point guard. And he was doing that on Houston, but dude, his points per game this year are down 10 points. And I know he's playing with another great player in Kyrie. He's only played, 3 games with KD or something like that? I don't even know if he's played that many. But it's so funny. His points are down 10 points a game, and he's averaging 26. So he's down 10 points a game, averaging 11 assists, 8 rebounds. He's just showing he's a pure point guard that can score the hell out of the rock. So this team's going to be unstoppable in the playoffs. I don't see anybody beating them, really, for being honest. Another predictable NBA season. You know, we can try to paint narratives. Now, do I believe I have this theory, and I'm going to back it up on one podcast, but it may be wrong. That's why I don't want to completely say it. I have a tiny belief that if you have a straight defensive lineup or a defensive team like the 76ers or the Heat, you can give them a real challenge, right? The way the Bucks play defense, they will never change. They will have way too many open threes. I'm never going to consider the Bucks a contender until they get a real superstar beside Giannis. All right, so number 1, Dame Lillard, 29, 24/7 balling. Just got CJ back. CJ's getting his legs underneath him. They're going to continue to develop their little chemistry, get it down pat. They need a fucking center. And this cancer fucking blows on defense. But other than that, I think they're going to be well off. Y'all know I said to watch out for them second half of the season, and now they have Norman Powell. And we'll see how it goes from there, man. But that ran a little long, 30 minutes on an All-NBA. Well, I had a Heat segment, so it's not bad. So, well, y'all know what it is, man. Check me out on Twitter, DegenerateHLS, and Hunter Lee, Sands, on Instagram. And I love you guys. Like, subscribe, comment. Y'all are the best, the greatest podcaster, sports broadcaster. The Heat, Miami Heat, talk master. This a disaster. I'm rapping. All right, well, I'm out of here, man. I'm out. Dude!